Hi, this is a video to help you learn just the very basics of photo editing in a very basic photo editing program available free on the web called Pixlr X. And so you're going to start by clicking on the link in your Canvas page or simply typing in to your browser pixlr.com/x/. And I've already been in here, but you can ignore the whole login and sign up. You can see Pixlr recognizes that I have done things in the past here and keeps them for me even though I don't sign in. So the very first thing that you're going to want to do is open your image from your computer, and this has gone to my Dropbox, so I'm just gonna go right here. You might have to look around a little bit more to find your photos, but I just double tapped on that. You're going to want to save your or work in your image at the what they call the Ultra HD here. So that is the maximum size of your image. It might slow you down a little bit working on it online, but if you ever want to print this image, you absolutely want to use the largest file size. So I'm just going to click that and hit the apply button. Now this little consent thing has popped up. I'm going to tell it not to sell my data, allowing no, not allowing it to sell my data. This is new. There we are. And so here I am. You can see that my image is sideways. So the very first thing that I'm going to want to do with it is come over here. This little tool right here says crop and rotate. And that's the first thing I'm going to do. So I just click on that, and this gives me a chance to rotate it one direction or another. And then I'm also going to want to make it, nope, that's viewing it. It should let me see it smaller. And now, oh, here we are. I can zoom out or zoom in. So I want to zoom out so that I can see the full image. It just makes my life a little bit easier, especially if I am going to crop it. So to crop it, I'm going to manipulate these things on the side. But I want to take your attention over here to select your aspect. So your aspect ratio is basically the ratio or the relationship between the horizontal sides and the vertical sides, however they are. And so I can select different ratios. There are some there's preset squares here. There's all of these different, like a 4:3 is your monitor size. You can see there's all kinds of aspect ratios you might want. If you're going to make a print that's an 8:10 print, this one here, 5:4, is the same ratio as that. A lot of times I will stick with my original ratio, but you don't have to. And then when I do that, it'll hold it to that ratio. No matter what I do with my outside edges, it will hold that aspect ratio. As I'm moving that. I'll just show you, I'll come on a little bit and just to kind of show you the process. So once I have cropped a little bit, then I'm going to come down here to save. And, oh, cancel. I didn't mean to save. That's the problem with things that are constantly changing, and why I'm making new videos for you. There should have been an apply button. Let's see. If I go back to crop and rotate, oh, here's the apply button right over here. It got moved. These things happen. Okay, so I'm going to hit the apply button here. I've got the cropped image. The next thing I'm going to do is I want to adjust my image. So this has been taken in color. If you're able to set your camera to black and white, my students in my beginning black and white class, beginning photography class, are required to shoot in black and white. And so we want to adjust, there we are, these little slider things here, adjust and filter. So I can put it into black and white right here. And boom, I am in a black and white mode. Once I am in black and white mode, it's another way of calling it is desaturating. If you're in another program, you'll see those words often. Also, monochrome might be words that you see. And then I'm going to come down to this section here that says light. And this is where I am going to do some things. It looks like it has already changed my exposure and my brightness. The difference between these two, brightness is an overall brightness, the whole image, and exposure has a tendency, normally exposure, look, oh, I can reset it. Exposure is how much light came into the camera, and when we're dealing with this in editing programs, it's similar to brightness, but it's giving more emphasis to the highlights. So those are the brighter things. Our highlights are our whites. But if I want the whole thing, in here I can easily reset it so it zeroes it. If I want a little bit of brightness to the whole thing, I can just kind of use my brightness slider, and you can see this is also giving it more light even in the areas that are not highlights. So I'm just going to give this a little bit more brightness. It looked like it was just a touch underexposed or too dark. It had also given it more contrast, so this is what the zeroed out was. I must have, when I hit that black and white button, it also did some automatic adjusting, which is not always a bad thing. Sometimes automatic settings can have some nice results, but I want you to be aware of what's happening and be able to make your own choices. So you can see more contrast, we can get more contrast, which indeed is usually preferable. What we're looking for in good black and white images is bright whites with some detail. And in this image, we'd have to zoom a little. Actually, in this image, our whites are all sky, so we're not going to really get any detail in those, but that's our general reference. And we want deep, rich blacks with maybe a touch of detail, and then a large range of grays in between the black and the white. And it's easiest for us to see that when we can see the whole image. I wonder if this will give me a slider. Okay, I just jumped from 10 to 20%. And it doesn't want to give me an option in between. Some programs will, and I think this program may have at some point in the past, but they're always tweaking it with it a little bit. So what we're looking for, as I was saying, bright whites with a little bit of texture as appropriate, deep rich blacks also with a little bit of texture as appropriate, and a greater range of gray tones in between. So other adjustments that we can make here are the blacks. We can adjust just the blacks. We can make them a little bit darker. Oh no, this is making them lighter. It's sort of counterintuitive. Or making them a little darker. I guess we can think of making them stronger or weaker. The same with whites. This would make them a little bit darker. This would make the whites a little bit brighter. So we have some more adjustments we can make independent. And then very similar are our highlights, which we can take either direction. And these words will vary between programs. And then shadows. So this will brighten up the shadows. This will darken the shadows. So we're going to kind of move these different adjustments around until we have that ideal bright white with detail, dark blacks with a little bit of detail, actual blacks, not dark gray, and lots of grays in between. Once we have those things, and if we're not sure, like we want to look a little bit closer, what does that look like? Because when it's too tiny, it can be hard to tell. One of the things that I'm seeing that's bugging me right now is this little tiny corner here. And so I'm actually going to come back to my cropping and just take that out. It was sort of hidden right here. But if I just come up a little bit and take that out of the corner and apply, now I don't have that little hot spot. That's one of the things I do want to watch for in composition and design in general, is not having something super bright drawing my eyes to the edge. I'm looking for things that are taking my eyes through the image. Like this would be a leading line, and then kind of bringing my eyes back around. But I'm looking for those sort of compositional things when I crop. So once I am ready to save my image, I'm going to do two different things. First, I'm going to save it, and this will save it to my computer. I want to keep it in a JPEG file, especially if I'm a student in my class, because I want to be able to submit it properly. And JPEGs are one of the more common, easily shared images. So I'm going to download this, and you'll notice I'm saving it. I don't want to open it. I want to save it, and it's going to put it in my download files folders. And so it says it's been downloaded. I'm going to close this. I want to save it again. So I saved one large one. You can see this is my width and my height for my students submitting images online. And indeed, you don't want to have huge images when you're sharing them online anyway. It makes things run slowly. But for my students, I prefer that the longer side be in the vicinity of 1,000 pixels. So if this is the longer side, you can see, and I just simply type in 1,000, and then it's going to, I want to make sure I have saved my name. Oh, I didn't do that. So if I were a student now, I would be whatever my assignment name is, probably would make it easiest. And submission, I'm just going to call it that, and I'm going to download it at this smaller size. And again, my computer is asking if I want to do that, and there I am. So I can try the premium free if I wanted, but I don't need to. I'm not going to do that, and I'm going to close it. And that is how you do the most basic photo editing in Pixlr